What is going on today? We're going to be talking about some of the common road test failures. I was reading through some of the comments. Someone left a comment for me. I failed my road test, automatic failure, no right turn on red. What did one of my subscribers did? They made a right turn on red. You have to stop. And if it says no right turn on red, you can't turn. And if you do, automatic failure. So we're going to be discussing these things, and let's go ahead and get into it. We're not even going to waste time. So we're going to go through the process. Um, when you're making turns, in my state, the maximum score to pass is 25 errors or less. If you get over 25, you fail. So we're going to be discussing this tonight. We're going to talk about it and then leave your questions. So let's go ahead and get it. So if you're making a left turn, there's some areas you're going to have to do your traffic checks. You got to look left. You got to look right. You've got to get into that middle turn lane just right. There's an opening or a gap. That open line, there's a line. And if you cut in before the line, that's a point deduction. If you cut in too late and almost rear end the car, that's another point deduction. So timing is extremely important. If you don't have good timing, then you'll be inconsistent. Okay. So there's a ranking of 1, 2, 3, or 4. Do you use your signal? And it seems very basic, but if you are practicing driving, and I'm assuming if you are subscribing to my content, you're digesting it, you're a teen, you're a young adult, you're someone who maybe is trying to get their license, and then I show you actual driving situations because I am a state certified instructor, that's definitely going to help you. So you have to get in that lane early. You've got to have a nice controlled stop. We want to see the rear of the tires on the ground. If you don't see the rear of the tires on the ground, then that's a deduction, okay? Because if you get rear-ended, you're going to have the collision behind you and you'll be pushed into the car in front of you, okay? Next, you want to stop. You want to be smooth. You and the road tester should not jerk forward. If you have a manual, you want to be able to downshift, let the clutch up real easy so the car doesn't rock back, okay? Do you come to a complete stop? Are you stopping behind the stop line? That is that big, thick white line. All of you should know what this is, right? If you have a good instructor who is taking you through the process, you stop behind that big white line. Then when the light turns green or is blinking, you proceed up into the middle of the intersection. If you go to, let's pretend the light's here. If you go too far under the light, then you won't be able to see. If you go shallow and you turn, you can literally turn in the wrong lane and cross over the yellow line, and that's an automatic failure. So you've got to really practice those real life driving scenarios, okay? Because your tester won't say anything. They're going to tell you, make a turn here, make a turn here, make a left turn into the neighborhood. They're not going to say, hey, you're going too fast. But your uncle driving with Myles, I have what you need because I want you to be prepared for your test. I want you to practice. So when you go there, it's no different than when you're driving by yourself. You will be a little bit nervous. You want to make sure your wheels are straight. Why? If you get hit from behind, you'll be knocked forward and you won't be hit into oncoming traffic. So if I'm sitting there and I'm a tester and I see your wheels turn, I'm going to mark you down because that's a dangerous condition, because I don't want to get hit or killed. I don't want you to get hit or killed. When I'm in a driver's car, I have a brake. I can tell you, hey, please straighten up your wheels because I want us to be safe and consistent, okay? And you got to practice. Next, you stop behind a stop line. You move up when necessary, okay? That's extremely important. Let's talk about turning. Are you doing your traffic checks? Are you cutting in front of a car that almost hit us? Are you turning immediately when a car passes us? It should be clear traffic. Pretend traffic is going this way. You're looking for a gap. This is too small of a gap. This is way, 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 way too big. I want to see good timing. I want to see good judgment because this is a reflection piece of me as your level 1 or level 2 instructor. So when you get to the road test, they're going to say, well, who taught you? Have your parents been out with you? Because, if you have areas of weakness, they will come out. Uh, Good instructors want to make you better. I'm a good instructor. I want to make you better. I want you to grow. I want you to ask questions. So you've got to almost literally be consistent, not 100% perfect, but in the upper 80 percentile range because I want you to have a good grade, right? Are your hands on the wheel? Um, 9-3, 10-2, 7-5. There's no one best way to hold the steering wheel. Okay. Here in the United States, it could be hand over hand, it could be hand to hand, 9-3, 10-2, 7-5. There's so many different ways. I just want to make sure you have your hands on the wheel just in case there's a pothole, someone runs out. Thank you for the thumbs up. I want to see you be consistent, right? And let's keep talking about this. Are you making a wide turn? If you make a wide turn, you're going to almost hit the telephone pole. If you're making a short turn, a really short, you're going to turn and almost hit someone head on. So if your instructor has to, and I'm going to show you this, if they have to turn the wheel or assist you, that could be a potential automatic failure. If you hit the curb, could be a potential automatic failure. I'm marking you down. Remember, in the state that I'm from, it's only 25 points. So if you get over that 25 point percentage, you're going to fail, okay? Because you're turning in the wrong lane, which is a common beginning driver mistake. And a beginning driver doesn't have to be a teen. A beginning driver could be someone in their 20s, someone in their 30s. Everyone has a different reason why they waited to drive. And we don't want to judge them, right? We want to encourage all people to gain independency. And that's what driving does. I've driven 30 years old, 40 years old, 50-year-old. Everyone has a different story behind them. Okay. And it's not just teens. So you got to show me control. And if you're steering, I want to see nice, smooth hand over hand in, hand over hand out, hand to hand. I want to see you control the vehicle and be consistent, right? So let's continue. I want to stay on track with this now. Are you turning too short? Are you yielding to traffic? What if a pedestrian comes by? And if you turn in front and cut off a pedestrian, automatic failure because you're in a dangerous situation. Are you yielding to traffic? Did you pull out in front of a car? Potential automatic failure, right? Turning wide, turning short, too fast, too slow. Some beginning drivers hit the gas really hard. The car lunges forward. You're out of control. Some drivers are scared to push the gas and the car moves very slow. And I'm looking to my right saying, oh my God, a car's coming. Of course, I don't say anything to you because I don't want to make you nervous, but your foot could get caught between the braking gas. There are just so many elements, okay? But we're thin-sole shoes. We're comfortable shoes. Do you complete the turn? Are you accelerating out? Are you waiting till the last possible second? Are you in the middle of the intersection looking, the light is blinking yellow. If it's clear, you proceed and make your turn. Or are you waiting for your green arrow, which is fine too. Some intersections don't have to protect the left-hand turn, and you have to make up your mind when you're going to turn, where you're going to turn, and what lane you need to be into. Okay. Are you doing your traffic checks? That's extremely important. You'll get deductions if you're not looking left, right, and left. You'll pull out in front of a car, we'll get hit. Let's talk about intersections. Are you stopping before or after the line? Are you looking up and moving forward? Are you looking for a safe gap? A gap is the space between cars. And if you turn short, you're going to cut it tight and go in a round lane. If you wait and don't really accelerate through, we're almost going to get hit. So I want to see a smooth, efficient turn smoothly through. And I'm applauding you if you do this, right? Timing. And that takes practice. Anyone can make a left turn or a right turn when there are no cars. What if it's rush hour 7:45 in the morning? What if you're going to college? You're going to high school. You get ready to go to your job. You have to make those decisions with a lot of pressure on you. And it only comes with time and it only comes with experience. Through intersections, are you checking traffic? Are you yielding while your foot's off the accelerator? Okay. Next, are your hands on the wheel? Are you accelerating properly and smoothly? Okay. Let's talk about some hazard awareness. I've had some questions on this. In order to avoid a collision, you want to drive to the right edge of the shoulder. Okay. Anytime you drive to that right edge, there's always a danger of going off road, hitting something, but you want to go to the right edge. We're talking about here in the United States. We drive on the right side of the road. Okay. Next, if you have to hit something, you want to hit something soft, never a tree, a rock, bushes, some dirt, some gravel to slow the speed of the car down. You always have to be in that defensive mindset, right? When possible, you always want to side swipe. Okay, side swipe a door to a fender. You want to avoid a head-on collision. Head-on collisions are the most dangerous. So I need you to understand this if you're going to be looking at this now or in a replay. Avoid head-on collisions at all costs. Residential areas. I want to see you being aware. Are you at 25, which is the speed limit in a residential area, but there are kids playing out there? Are you at 25, but there's black ice out there? Are you at 25, but people are backing out? We're going to get you into a residential area. I'm going to have you make some right turns, make some left turns. Are you looking and leading just like I'm looking, or are you just turning, then you look? There's a difference. I've got to see you looking through that window, your driver's side window, your passenger side window. We know there's an A pillar. The A pillar is maybe where my arm is, and this does block some of your view. So I want to see you look over or under or through. I've got to really confirm that your eyes are looking through. And that's the biggest things that are really important. Okay, a curve. Are you checking traffic? Are you reducing your speed? Or are you going really fast? And I know once we get into the curve, we're going to end up sliding out because centrifugal force, what, is pulling us to the outside of the curve. And then we're going to go off road. And then that's a minus. And if you hit a pothole, now we're going to be jerking and you're going to oversteer. And then we're back in oncoming traffic. And our tires have gravel. Gravel's like little bitty ball bearings. And because of that, you're going to end up carrying that dirt, that grit onto the road. And now you're going to be sliding. And that's very scary in itself. And if you overturn, the rear of the car will spin out from under you. So you got to go into those curves slow. And you've got to have great speed control going in and then smoothness accelerating out. And that's what I'm looking for. And if you are going over the white line, that's a potential minus. If you're crossing the yellow, that's a potential minus. So you have to demonstrate that control. And, getting back to our steering wheel, if you overturn the wheel, the car will jerk. The rear of the car will spin out just like this chair spins out. And then you got to overcorrect. And now you're doing this. And this is really scary. It's not a game. And I'm sitting there, and your road tester is going to be like, I want to terminate the test right now. And you're going to be in tears, and you're going to be upset. Your parent or guardian will be in the back. You're already going to be nervous. Your heart's going to be pounding. So I'm telling you the real process, because I talk to road testers. A lot of my good friends are road testers, and I ask them questions. I also recommend students to go there. And then they pass, most 99%, but you have to practice. I still want to stay on track with some other information to help you. That's why I decided to come on. So you got to stop at those intersections. Now, the yellow light, that's a really challenging situation on that yellow light. If you can stop safely in 3 seconds, 1001, 1002, 1003, you should have a nice, smooth, controlled stop. If you blow through that yellow light, that could be potential for failure. Okay, and that's very dangerous. Remember, road testers don't have brakes in the car, an assistant brake. You have to demonstrate control. If you blow a red light, you might as well take it back. Automatic fail. You wasted $75, $100. And then you've got to set up time again. So the common failures are blowing through lights, making a right turn on red when it says no right turn on red, not understanding the rules of the four-way stop. But there's more. That through intersection, are you accelerating? Are you moving too slow? If you're moving too slow, you become a hazard to other traffic. No one's hating on you because you're a beginner. You have to be able to maintain speed. And I'm very passionate about it. So, 25 points, you can get up to 25 points, but there's more, okay? So you're merging on expressway, and that's the next biggest area of failure. You don't accelerate. You're on that ramp, and you've got to pick up 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, maybe up to 47. That's not enough. The speed limit is 70. People are coming out fast, and you get cut off, or you abandon your merge, and then you get over to the right and you panic. You had that panic attack. I've had that happen with students, and it's very scary because you see them being very happy. All of a sudden, they just lose that energy. And, I'm trying to encourage them. Your road testers are going to sit there and they're going to mark you down. That's it. Don't take your road test if you're not ready. Don't let your mom, your dad, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your cousins force you to say, hey, you're 22, you're 19, you're 25, mom and dad are tired of taking you out. You have to do that when you're ready. It is a huge commitment for yourself, and you have to do this for yourself. And this is where we're headed with this. You have to do this for yourself. You can't do it for your boyfriend or your girlfriend. You are the one that will be in that situation. And driving anxiety is real because I've seen it before. I've treated clients with this before, and you have to do it for you. And that's the only way you're going to get through this. And you have to have a positive experience. If you had a really bad instructor, or you really didn't get enough lessons, and you sit at home and your mom and dad are on your head, you're not really going to have that confidence to get out there. And then you're going to pay for some private lessons. They're just going to go through the emotions. And then you're like, I paid $500 and I really didn't learn anything. I've heard these stories over and over because I listen, right? So you got to be able to merge out properly. Okay. You got to signal like on the middle of the ramp, get down to the bottom. I want to see you look over that shoulder and not follow me now, and not overturn this way because the car's headed off the road. I've been in those situations too, and it's very scary. So you probably say, well, what do you do? If I see a student doing this, I just move the wheel back easily, giving you that confidence, giving you that love, because good instructors will give you support. They won't scream at you. They won't grab the wheel and say, hey, what are you doing? Because that's going to make you just lose confidence. That's going to put you into a defeatist attitude, and you're going to say, I don't want to be here. And I've seen that before. And, my heart goes out to people like that. So you have to really encourage and really reach into yourself. Okay. So when you're merging out like that, you're going to get run off the road. Semi trucks are coming. Cars are coming. They see the blinker on, but you are going at 40 and the ramp speed is 70. Okay. On the main road. So we got to get up speed. We got to get up to 55. We're pushing that foot on that brake. I want to hear that RPM on that motor rise up. And we coming out hopefully about 62, 63. And that's still not enough because the minimum speed limit is 70. Some areas is 75, right? Where I live in some areas is 75 miles an hour. And people drive 3 over, 5 over, 10 over. So I'm trying to get you to understand that merging out is another huge area that is challenging for teens, for adults, for anyone. If you go out in the morning and look at some of my content, you go out in the morning, cars are just not getting up to speed. And you're trying not to hit them. You see other cars bearing in behind you. And if you go too slow and that's cut over, they're going to hit you. If you stay behind this person doing 35 to 37 miles an hour, you're saying to myself, I can't get up to speed. And you don't want to cut off someone because that's going to make them cut over. And then that's where road rage comes in. So you really have to kind of come out smoothly and get up to speed in that merge. So we're looking for you to get up to speed, use your blinker, look over your shoulder, and accelerate and get up to speed. It's got to be, and you got to practice this over and over, but there's no one for me to practice with. Okay. You got your uncle right here. You look at my content, look at those videos. The titles do reflect what they are, merging. And I want to continue. So you got to use your blinker. You got to merge out. You have to get up to speed. You don't hit it to the floor. You'll do, over over speed, and then you'll cut off cars. You want to come out smoothly into the first lane, lift your foot off a little bit, go with that flow. Then you look over your shoulder, mirror, turn signal, blind spot, boom, you check, and then you get up to speed. I want to see you get in that middle lane. But first, you got to merge out. And if you're not practicing this with your instructor 4 times, 6 times, 8 times consistently, you won't have enough self-confidence to get out there. The lane changes. I want to see you check your traffic. I want to see you look, inside mirror, check, mirror, turn signal, blind spot, and get that speed up. A lot of beginning drivers just kind of float the car, and it's not really moving fast. And you've got to get over and get up to speed. I got to see you signal. I got to see you get up to speed immediately, and then be able to hold that speed 65, 68, 70. And that's where you got to hold your foot on that gas pedal. And I've seen students, I've seen their hands sweat. I've seen their foot shake. I've seen their leg cramp up because they're just going through so much. And I try to be supportive, and I listen, I crack a joke, I give you love. And it's a lot of people just don't understand. And you see a video, a glimpse of something, and then you make comments like, wow. But it takes a really caring person to put their lives on the line and be passionate and help people reach over that Achilles heel. And that's obtaining a license. That's merging on the expressway. Okay, because cars are flying and they have to really want to do this. Okay, so you got to do your traffic checks. You got to get up to speed. I don't necessarily put my drivers into the left lane because you're going to have to go really, really fast. And I don't want that pressure on you, because a lot of people will tailgate you and then give you the middle finger. And it's been so many times that has happened to us, and we're going at the speed limit, but it's not enough. So I'm trying to help you understand that you have to find that balance. And if you have someone, a mom, a dad, who's just not patient with you, and they're grabbing the wheel and, having those emotional baby heart attacks, you feel defeated. Your confidence is gone. You're like, Mom, Dad, I don't want to do this. And I've seen this many, many, many times. And you guys got to have the support and love to help you obtain confidence. Okay. Here's some general driving habits. Are you searching? Are you searching left, front, right? You got to look around. You've got to show that confidence. Even though inside you might be shaking, your hand is sweating, your foot's pulsating, your eyes twitching. I've seen it. You've got to show that confidence. We got to push through. And it's a little bit at a time, right? Are you searching for open areas, or are you right on top of cars? A lot of beginners, teens and adults, are right on top of cars, and they don't realize the danger. Someone could suddenly stop. A deer could come out. There's a huge pothole. There's a tire that has exploded. So as your instructor, as your uncle, your driver's ed uncle, I'm going to give you that insight. I'm going to help you. And that's why this content is effective, because we're out here. We're not doing fake stage driving. We're doing real driving in real situations. And that's how I want you to gain knowledge. Okay. Speed control. Are you over speed? Are you under speed? I never thought I would hear you teach again. I love doing what I do. I just want to do the best that I can. And I just want to keep getting better. Thank you. And that's what it's all about, helping people. And that's why you become an instructor. You're not going to make a bunch of money, but you're going to really impact people's lives. I have some beautiful letters upstairs. Just want to say thank you. You really helped my son or daughter gain confidence. They didn't really want to drive. And that's why we do this. That's why I'm a teacher. That's why I'm an instructor. It's very fulfilling to help people. And if I can share this energy and positive vibes with people to encourage them, then that's a good thing, right? So I just want to keep growing and keep getting better. Also, are you in the correct lane? If you turn in the wrong lane, you're going to turn wide or short, cut off a car. If you turn really tight and shallow, you don't go up into the intersection enough, you're going to cut off a car. That could be grounds for automatic failure. Timing comes with practice, learning to merge out properly. If you're too slow, You'll come out too slow and all the cars are kind of swerving out of your way. And then it takes a couple seconds to build up speed. If you come out too fast, you're going to overshoot. You're going to almost rear end the car. And then, so that's with timing. That's with practice. Usually around the third or fourth merge, you understand timing. That's why it's important that you have a good positive relationship with your instructor. If you have an instructor, they're trying to hurry you, hurry up. I got another student waiting. You won't be in this industry long, right? You don't make it to 10, 12, 15, 20 years because you're trying to hustle and get it through. You take your time. You tell your student, hey, this is what I'm expecting. If I have to show you what to do for a moment, I'll show you. And then we'll get off the expressway, make sure you're good. We'll get back in. And I want to see a beautiful merge. And most teens and adults will hit and make that merge really good, okay, and park really good and make left turns, okay. Steering control is super important. You don't want to be too stiff. Palming the wheel is where you're palming the wheel, you could lose control. I've seen students oversteer, understeer, go into the pole, go into the light, go into the wrong lane. This is why it's so important that you digest this content and that you look at it, okay. We want smooth merging. We want good hand positionings and good timing. If this brought you value, give it a thumbs up, look at my content, and subscribe. Guys, I want to say thank you. I appreciate you, and I love you. Stay tuned for more. A lot of good things are going to happen. Bye, guys.